Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Spirit of Justice. So, as you can see on the screen, Dirk is, dead. And, Maya was present when during his final moments, and, that's what we're gonna hit into, now. These ellipses. I'm listening, Miss Faye. What happened in his final moments?
It was soon after I was kidnapped. Dirk paid me a visit in that tomb where I was being held captive.
Wait, hold on. Back up, before I get into this. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but a while ago, I believe it was confirmed that Maya was held captive for 6 days, right? So, and Dirk was dead in 3 days before that, so, I'm sorry, someone please correct me on this. I'm pretty sure we saw this earlier on, that Maya had been, held hostage for, 6 days or something like that. I could have sworn we read this somewhere, so.
I'd say it was a few days before Minister Ingo's murder.
I don't know, man. I feel like the times are a little bit wonky there.
Hey, young lady, time to get you up and out of here.
It's that revolutionary guy.
I'm here to rescue you.
You are? Why?
I figured things were a little too quiet with that stamp-sucking scumbag. So I started digging around. That's when I found out you'd been abducted.
But why would a rebel help me?
Let's go, before it's too late.
It already is for you, pal. Long time no see, you rebel blowhard.
Inga, I know you're up to something, and I'm going to find out what. Ah!
That's gotta smart. You've become a real thorn in my side, see? So it's time for you to be pushing up daisies.
Ah! Ah!
Dirk!
Did you really think a pea shooter like that could kill a dragon?
What the? What are you, some kind of freak? Nuts to this.
Dirk was shot several times, but he barely even flinched. He sacrificed himself for me.
Ugh.
These ropes! I've gotta help you.
Relax. It's going to be okay. Sorry things turned out this way, but it doesn't look like I have much longer.
No, don't say that.
You're a spirit medium, aren't you? When I'm gone, I want you to channel my spirit.
Stop it! Don't give up like that!
If you do, untying a rope like that'll be child's play.
No. Please, hang in there. You can still make it.
Promise me one thing, young lady. It's about my son.
Dirk was talking about you, Apollo. He said he wanted to see you one last time. So he asked me to return to the US and channel his spirit.
He really said that?
Mm-hmm. He also said he'd been meaning to visit you for years, but kept putting it off. And that this was his last chance.
You just showed up here without warning after all this time? What gives?
I came all this way to see you, son. Come, rejoice.
Right. Why don't you tell me the real reason you're here? Sorry, I need to breathe. Dirk. You really did come to the US because you wanted to see me.
I guess this means... it was Inga that hid Dirk's body in the sarcophagus after Maya left the tomb.
Apollo, you can't stop now. Dirk would want you to keep pressing on.
I know, Miss Faye. I won't disappoint him. Defense, if you are ready to proceed, I would first have you answer this. Do you believe the accused's death will impact what we know about this case? Yes, and I believe I can explain everything now. Very well, your explanation, please. Dirk entered the tomb at 3 p.m., the time the hostage exchange was to take place. Or rather, Dirk, as channeled by Miss Faye, did. Now, by the time he entered the tomb at 3 p.m., Minister Inga was already dead. I say that because we know the minister was murdered at 2 p.m. But there was someone else in there. This person was already hiding in the tomb waiting to channel Dirk in place of Miss Faye. Amara herself. She must have channeled the minister, got stuck in there, and then when Dirk came in, she swapped. It was you, wasn't it? The fact of the matter is, Queen Amara killed Minister Inga at 2 p.m. She then went to his private quarters and channeled his spirit. The minister, thinking he was going to be late, hurried to the tomb for the hostage exchange. But once in the tomb, Queen Amara stopped channeling Minister Inga and hid herself. Then, when Dirk entered at 3 p.m., she snuck up from behind and forcibly drove Dirk's spirit out of Miss Faye's body. Drove his spirit out of her body. Impossible.
Actually, there is a way to do that. With a Magatama of parting, that is. Using one, anyone could drive a spirit out of a person's body, even if it refused to leave.
Oh, she's sweating! Are you telling me that the extra pale brown Magatama in the tomb was... Oh, yeah. That it was...
That's right, Prosecutor Samadi. And you've seen one in action before. You saw how the glowing red Magatama sent the High Priest back to the Twilight Realm. And how it turned a spent pale brown afterwards.
In other words, the brown Magatama found in the tomb looks that way because its power had been used up in pushing Dirk's spirit out of Miss Faye's body, right?
I probably passed out as soon as Dirk's spirit left my body. I was exhausted after channeling him for so long, after all.
After that, Queen Amara must have dressed Miss Faye in her usual outfit and tied her up. I'm not sure where she got the outfit, but we can assume she had it all planned out. Or maybe they were just left there. I don't know. Actually, you know what? Now I am wondering, did Dirk just walk out in Maya's clothes? Like, where did he get his clothes again? I don't... So many weird plot holes in this case. I mean, this is great and all, but geez. You start talking about these things and you're just sitting here wondering, wait, what happened? Then, Queen Amara must have changed into Dirk's clothes, smeared blood onto them, picked up the knife, and channeled Dirk's spirit. That's how she made it look like Dirk had committed the crime. Also, Amara, why would you do that to your husband? See, this is where things get really weird with this case, in my opinion. Like, there's so much information that you start to lose track of certain things at this point, and then things get weird. And that's how she escaped, right under our noses.
I don't know, Apollo. The whole thing still seems a bit far-fetched.
Dirk, what was going through your mind while all this was unfolding? Ultimately, it was all for naught, and it was Noyuta. I thought it was the queen talking, but no, it wasn't the queen. Noyuta? Those dreams of revolution Dirk was always spouting. They placed nothing but false hope in the minds of the people. And in the end, they were simply fantasies. Noyuta, how can you... Karma has spoken. The dream of revolution has withered in the vine, on the vine. Its fate is sealed. The other insurgents will soon wake from their shattered dreams. No, Dirk's dream can't die like this. I'm not going to sit back and let that happen. I ain't gonna let it go and move on, Noyuta. I can't and I won't. Noyuta, don't forget that Dirk's been proven innocent. His name is no longer tainted by the charge of murder.
Now the rebels and the sympathizers who have been calling for his release can't be charged with abetting the accused. So the revolution is far from over. It's only just begun.
No, Dirk has not yet been proven innocent. You have merely indicated the possibility of his innocence. What do you mean? Dirk is indeed dead. However, what if it was Dirk who killed Minister Inga while being channeled by Miss Faye? And while the crime could have occurred at 2 p.m., you have yet to substantially prove it. Or do you have conclusive proof that the time of Minister Inga's death was at 2 p.m.? Well, no, I don't, but... It seems further testimony will be required of me. As it would appear that I have fallen under suspicion, I would like to state my case.
Prosecutor Senmari, the rebellion must be snuffed out once and for all. You must prove Dirk Senmari to be the foul murderer that he was. And every last insurgent and their sympathizers must be found guilty under the Defense Culpability Act.
As you wish, Your Eminence. Why is Noyuta doing this? Garan shouldn't have him under her thumb anymore. Amara's not a hostage, so what gives? Noyuta, what's left to chain you to her like this? Very well then, Queen Amara. Please proceed with your additional testimony. Not sure if I'm gonna have time to press everything, but we'll see. Like, we're about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes almost up. You have no proof. Well done, lawyer. You have painted me as a killer with nothing but your silver tongue. However, you have no evidence proving your distasteful theory. Furthermore, Dirk could have committed the crime while being channeled by Miss Faye. Now let us end this charade. For the eternal glory of Karayan and its people. We ain't stopping. Do you understand now, you putrid pepper? There is no point in defending Dirk any longer. It has all been in vain. Look, I haven't given up, unlike you. Let it go and move on, right? Well, not today. Your theories are but a pillar of salt that crumbles at the slightest breeze. But no more. This ends here and now. The defense may proceed with its cross-examination. Ooh, that was a weird frame skip there. Anyway, okay, here we go. Let's see if we can press everything. Get at least that done. We have to skip the second statement though. Convincing others is all part of a lawyer's trade, so I'll take that as a compliment. You would, wouldn't you? I suppose you have deceived countless souls with your lies. But I should not be surprised, considering you learned from him. Him? You mean Dirk, right? Yes, the man who deceived and seduced me. A grand priestess with his silver tongue. Yeah, technically he learned from right more than Dirk, because Dirk hasn't really been around most of his life. We are still talking about the case, right? Surely you have heard of a lady falling for the wrong man before. But to think that I, of all people, would fall under that devil's spell. Wow, how did they ever get together in the first place? Let alone procreate? I would advise all here today to beware this lawyer's silver tongue. Lest you too be unjustly painted as a criminal as I have been. Okay, we're skipping that. Why can't I skip that? Probably because I didn't press it originally? There's sometimes I can't skip a statement because I haven't pressed it originally. You're saying the Dirk who entered the tomb is the one who killed Mr. Inga? I am. I stand firm with the prosecution's original charge against the accused. The only issue is whether that Dirk was alive or dead. That's a pretty major issue. Oh, I beg to differ. For here in Karayan, death is not the end. It is merely a change in one's address, for the Twilight Realm is only the next door over. Is it really? It is. Those who have only recently passed away may call upon you in the night. Such occurrences are quite common in our kingdom. She's kidding, right?
In all the time I've spent here, I'm happy to say that's never happened to me.
Me neither. You need not fear death. Embrace it, along with your guilt. Then may you begin your journey to the Twilight Realm. No, thank you. Yeah, okay, I guess I never pressed these when I initially started this because I can't even skip these now. So hey, this is new for me. Eternal glory? Once the king of traitors has been judged, and the rebellion quelled for good, peace and prosperity shall return to our fair kingdom. Then shall the blessings of the Holy Mother usher in an age of eternal glory. With Queen Amara as the Grand Priestess of Karayan once more, the people would be free from subversive elements. Faith would blossom anew. Oh, you are too kind, but I have no intention of resuming my position as Grand Priestess. What? I relinquished my position as Queen and Grand Priestess to my sister, Garan. And now that my would-be assassin is gone, I am truly free at last. Perhaps I shall take a trip, or expand my horizons with new training. Queen Amara?
Looks like she's totally over being Grand Priestess and Queen.
I don't blame her, it seems like a stressful job. In that case, I shall introduce you to some wonderful classes that I am taking.
She's claiming that all we've got is circumstantial evidence.
Well, I can't say she's wrong.
Guess it's do or die now, Apollo. Our whole case comes crashing down if her testimony is allowed to stand.
Don't worry, I've got this. We do got this, so let's go back to the second statement again.
Hold it!
I admit I don't have any solid evidence. Yet. Yet, anyway. But you're the only one who could have committed the crime. What on earth do you mean? Including Miss Faye, there are only 3 spirit mediums in Karayan. Furthermore, when the crime scene was first discovered, Queen Garan was with me and Mr. Wright, while Miss Faye was tied up in the tomb. That means that the Dirk we saw after the minister's murder could only have been channeled by you, Queen Amara. Insolent lawyer. Oh! Forgive us, your mercifulness! Really, your majesty? Ah, but have you considered the following defense? What if there was, unbeknownst to us, another spirit medium in Karayan? Are you really gonna pull that out here? Pull that here? Oh, come on! What are the chances? You lack the evidence to support your claim that Queen Amara is the killer, which is why you have had to use the process of elimination to zero in on her. It therefore stands to reason that you would have to rule out all other possibilities as well. Well, can you eliminate the possibility of another spirit medium defense? Of course I can't!
Under the circumstances, Apollo, there are 2 ways to establish Amara's guilt. We either prove she killed Inga, or prove she was in the tomb.
We can prove the latter, I think. Which one can I actually prove? We can prove that she was in the tomb. At least we can prove that. I can prove that Queen Amara was in the tomb when the murder occurred. It seems you are ever bent on painting me as the killer. Well, if the shoe fits. Very well. Let us see some evidence that proves I was at the scene of the crime. You do have some, do you not? There is nothing to prove I was even at the scene of the crime. That's a new statement, isn't it? Okay, let's press that first for now. By simply changing into Dirk's clothes and channeling his spirit, It is a fact that the killer altered the crime scene. How very perceptive of you. In trying to accomplish everything, the killer would have been pressed for time, and may have committed an error that could prove crucial to this case.
And sometimes the significance of certain pieces of evidence can change in the face of new facts and circumstances. Why don't you take another look at all the evidence we have?
You think I'll see something in a new light? Is there anything from the tomb that's taken on a different meaning now? The only way to find out is to reconsider each piece based on our current understanding. Alright, what we are presenting, what was found in the tomb, if you recall, was a pink pendant. More than likely, it didn't actually belong to Dirk. Where's the picture of Dirk, actually? I don't want to look at it, but I believe Dirk has... Yeah, he's got a pendant right there. It's a blue one. So, more than likely, this pendant that we have previously belongs to Amara.
Objection!
Queen Amara. Does this pendant look familiar to you? Why, that is... We found it in the tomb and it has the minister's blood on it, which means it was probably dropped in the course of the crime. Excuse me. And I fail to see how it is relevant to your argument. Did that not belong to the accused? No, actually. That's what I thought too. After all, Dirk had said it did himself. He said that. Yes, but it was a lie. Because I believe he was covering for someone. Covering? How? For who? Oh, come on, Ayuda! You should know. At least. There is a certain piece of evidence that shows the pendant isn't Dirk's. Oh, I guess we are presenting that corpse photo. Cries. That's a photo of the accused's body, is it not? Yes, it is. And I'd like to call your attention to a certain spot in it. This right here proves that the pendant that was found in the tomb wasn't Dirk's. This blue one. You will notice an object near Dirk's left arm. It's an identical pendant, except it's blue. Oh, now that you mention it. Don't you find that a little strange? Why would he own two of them, but in different colors? Here's what I think. The pendants were meant to go together as a pair. A pair. If the blue pendant was Dirk's, then what about this pink one with Minister Inga's blood on it? Who do you suppose it belongs to? You're sweating, Amara! You're sweating! That's unbecoming of a queen! Sorry to disappoint, but no fingerprints were found on the pink pendant. Therefore, we have no way of knowing to whom it belongs.
Objection!
There's a fingerprint inside the pendant. Ah, but that's where you're wrong, Prosecutor Samahi. I'm guessing you didn't know that this pendant is actually a locket. Come again? Now this is where it gets interesting. When we open this locket up, we found a faint fingerprint inside. On the back of the lid, to be exact. What? No. So now the question is, to whom does the fingerprint belong? Sweatin', Mara! Just admit it! Queen Amara! It belongs to you, doesn't it? Oh. It seems I've truly rendered the witness speechless this time around. This cannot be. Mother, tell me it does not belong to you. Nayuda, Think about it, Queen Amara. Dirk must have realized that you were channeling his spirit, and he had probably already figured out who the minister's killer was. And yet, he still claimed that the pink pendant belonged to him. But why would he do such a thing? You really don't know? He was protecting you. Because he loved you. He loved you until his very last breath, and beyond.
I have one more big secret. I'm afraid I can't tell you what it is. I'd be betraying a certain someone if I did.
Dirk knew everything, even that he was being used. But he kept quiet, all for your sake. Dirk, why do you always... Well, Queen Amara, Dirk, the one whose love for you never wavered all these years. Are you going to betray him now? Dirk, I'm sorry, these ellipses were getting annoying. Also, that breakdown, she opened her eyes. Also, that was extremely Disney. This cannot be. I refuse to accept it. Queen Amara, are you ready to confess to your crime? Her eyes are open now. I can deny it no longer. The truth is, it was I, Amara Sigatar Karayan, who slew Minister Inga. Oh boy! This is great. This is and you know what's even worse? Like, there's an obvious motive for it too. Like, I'm pretty sure she still loves Dirk, to the point that maybe she found out what happened and tried to murder him. I mean, there's a motive right there for it. But anyway, I need to stop, unfortunately. We will have to talk to her properly in the next video. I'll see you guys then.